Let's talk about rest for a moment and what is commonly called adrenal fatigue. Okay, I was speaking to one of my patients the other day who is definitely suffering from the good girl syndrome, which is very common, both for women and men, of course, but it's called good girl syndrome for a reason. She is going through some post-COVID symptoms, so the fatigue that a lot of people experience afterwards, right? She's now back in health again, but she's got this fatigue inside of her. And so because she is suffering from the idea that being at rest is being lazy, she refuses to listen to the symptoms coming from her body of the fatigue. Okay, so what this gives is that she is depleted generally. Whatever she does, she's actually really tired. And so it then, after some days or weeks, begin to take an effect on her quality of eating, of digesting food, and also her quality of sleep, actually. Why is this, you might wonder? Well, it's because when the body is in stress because it's actually tired and need rest, but you're not giving it the rest, it will set itself into producing more cortisol. So that's our stress hormone, right? Or one of them. And the issue here, you see, with my patient, which is an issue that I've seen in myself for many years and in a lot of other people, is that instead of actually listening to the signals from the body that's saying you need rest, she will try to overproduce instead. And so when she's trying to be productive, to kind of compensate this anxiety that the fatigue is bringing on, she will feel even more depleted. So when she has some time to actually take rest, she doesn't have the energy to do anything else than to do the typical distracting ourselves with social media, with Netflix, with eating sweets, because obviously the sugar will give us some more energy, right? And then that perpetuates everything else. And after a while, we start to notice the symptoms physically as well. So we see it on our skin, we see it in our eyes, we see it on our bodies, because we're actually producing more cortisol, which will put fat on the body as well. And of course, we will not have the energy to do any exercise. So what we actually need to do in these moments is to look into why am I associating resting with something negative? So we went into a little bit of an exercise around this, and it showed that, well, actually, for her, taking a nap in the middle of the day feels like something lazy people do. What do lazy people do? What do we associate with them? Well, lazy people are stupid. They're not going to achieve anything in life. They don't have healthy habits. There's a lot of stuff that came up there, and that probably comes up with you as well when you hear the word lazy, right? So we don't want to be lazy. What we want to do is to listen to the signals. When the body is saying you are tired, you need rest, we don't want to go on social media or watch Netflix eating chips and whatnot, candy. What we want to do is to be active in our resting. That can look like something, if we are energetic enough, like a guided meditation, for instance. It can also look like something, if we don't have the energy for sitting up in meditation, yoga nidra, or self-hypnosis. Laying down, listening to something, and take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, ideally not more than an hour, to still be in the day rhythm, but to do that in the day at the moment when you feel tired, instead of trying to fight against this tiredness. And I promise you, for me, it had enormous effects in the long run.